So VAME is a name that I created. The VA in VAME stands for Virginia. That's where I was born. I only lived there till I was 9. The ME stands for me. Listen, I'm against if the wife doesn't want it.
No.
If I could quit literally everything right now, I would be a drummer on tour. You've been like preparing all of this time, like now is the time to just try. I could hear my conversation with them and I cried after because they were just talking to me about how much it meant to them that I would just come up to them like that and have interest in what they're wearing and then have interest in their life and in their dreams and their goals. Don't ever stop doing this.
Whoa, clear out the room, I'm coming through, they wanna see what I'm about.
And that's the name, you know?
I'm on a paper route. Extra,
You gonna hook me up? Okay.
Today's trying to tap it. I put commas over bullshit. Yeah, I put that on mamas. Hey, they trying to block all my blessings.
Hey, welcome back to the People of Oklahoma podcast. My name is Steven, and this is a podcast where we talk to interesting people that live here in the great state of Oklahoma. Yes, there are interesting people that live here in Oklahoma, just in case you aren't from Oklahoma. But the person we have on today is someone that I found on social media. I actually know nothing about this person other than I thought his videos were super interesting. He basically goes around Tulsa and interviews people that are out and about what they're wearing. And I thought that was super fascinating. And after binging about 4 to 6 hours of his content, I was like, I'm going to have him on the podcast. So I have VAME on the VAME.
Yes, VAME.
VAME on the podcast. VAME's in the house.
Dude, thanks for having me, man. This is cool. This is really cool.
Being here, man. So we literally been talking now for probably about 15 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
I wish we recorded all that, but Sarah decided not to record it. So I'm just kidding. Sorry.
That was a good intro, by the way. I loved that.
That was
good.
Sarah, was that my best intro so far?
She made the face. She's like,
Yeah. She's the person that keeps me humble.
Okay, no, that's good.
She everything that I kind of float by her, she says,
I feel that. You need that person. Yeah.
It's like having my wife in here. So literally that's what my wife does. My wife just keeps me super humble. And it's just challenge me and pushes me to kind of
my wife as well. I feel that.
So you're married?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Going on 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, November 1st will be 6 years.
November 1st, 2018? Okay,
yeah.
So I got married in 2016.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, I think. Maybe it was 15.
It's like, I think. It's been too long.
So,
cool.
VAME, sorry, my contact.
No, you're good.
So what kind of got you, actually, first off, are you from here in Oklahoma?
It feels like it. I've been here most of my life since I was 12, but originally I'm from Virginia.
Okay.
Which is actually part of the name. I can explain later too.
No, why VAME? Because I thought that was your real name, and then you're like, no, it's Aaron, and I'm like, oh. How'd you come up with VAME?
Yeah, so government name is Aaron. But yeah, so VAME is a name that I created specifically for this content. It all kind of ties together just with my life. But the VA in VAME stands for Virginia. Oh. So that's where I was born. I only lived there till I was 9. And then my family moved to Texas for 3 years, and then we moved here. So I've been in Oklahoma most of my life. But the VA in VAME stands for Virginia. The ME stands for me, so Virginia plus me. And the reason, I guess kind of the idea behind VAME is not just about where I'm from, but it's about the person that I was when I was in that place. And so even though I only lived in Virginia until I was 9 years old, I'm sure I'm sure people listening know, like, those are like the most formative years of your life, or some of the most formative years of your life. And so fast forward to like about a year and a half ago, I was watching videos of myself with my family. Videos of me when I was really little, probably 3 or 4 in Virginia. And I was getting more and more sad as I'm getting emotional right now, even as I'm thinking about it. Sorry. But I was watching these videos of myself, and my family was just like laughing because I was such a character. And I just started to get more and more sad as I was watching it because I didn't recognize the person that was up there that was supposed to be me. And so I kind of realized that, like, somewhere along the way throughout life because of certain traumas or whatever it may be, I lost this sense of, so when I was that young and even up until, 9 and a little bit older, I was very life of the party. I wanted all of the attention on me
Very
at
extrovert.
all times. Yes,
Yeah, okay.
very extrovert. I'm the complete opposite now. Like at the core, I feel like I'm growing a lot, and I'll get into that. But,
Yeah.
and so at that point in time, I was like, yeah, I totally lost that, and I don't know, like the Aaron that I saw didn't care about anything that was going on around me. I was doing my own thing at the same time, wanting like the attention, just wanting to entertain people. Didn't care about what I was saying, really.
Yeah.
Didn't care, and so it really hit me for some reason that day. I'd seen those videos like a million times.
How long ago was that?
About close to a year and a half ago when I watched.
So you went by Aaron all the way up to about a year and a half ago?
Honestly, the VAME thing actually just started in December. When I
Oh.
started the What Are People Wearing content and was really thinking about, some of the things that I had experienced within that past year. One of those things being the video of myself. So, so that's when I started to kind of go into like a deep dive, like self-discovery, like, okay, what happened to me? What are things that people may have done, said, whatever, that maybe changed the trajectory of how I ended up becoming as a person. Mm-hmm. And so, as you might know, like when you start to do a deep dive or you do some self-discovery, it's very painful. I heard some of your story.
Dude, I can tell. I had 90 days
Yeah.
of just self-discovery. So I went to I'm a recovering alcoholic, which you probably saw.
I just saw it like this
Yeah.
morning. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
Congratulations, by the way.
Yep, just celebrated 4 years, May 27th.
Wow.
So 4 years, but I literally had 90 days just to self-reflect, of kind of just put life on pause for a minute, being in rehab. And so discovered a lot of things, discovered, the reasons why I do certain things, and it was very beneficial. So you kind of had one of those moments.
Yeah, for sure. And so just within that journey, a lot of my problem, I guess you could say, as an adult, is caring way too much about what people thought of me. I became a major people pleaser. And tried to say all of the right things just so people could think that I was a good person. And because of that, I wasn't, if that even kind of makes sense.
Yep.
And so I went on this journey to basically, for some reason with me, things kind of just hit me in one moment rather than it being a gradual thought process. And so again, it just kind of hit me like, okay, no, I need to get out of this entire mindset because it's changing my lifestyle. And so I just started to try to do things that would get me out of my comfort zone, which is like the worst thing for an introvert. Shout out to all the introverts out there. But yeah, that's what I started to do. And so What Are People Wearing videos are actually a huge part of me trying to get out of my box and get out of my comfort zone because I don't do that. Oh. And so VAME, the idea of VAME, you could even say kind of like the brand, identity, whatever you want to say of VAME, is taking the good things from your past that you may have lost along the way, bringing that forward and bringing that into your future so that you can become like the best version of yourself. And so that's what sticks with me whenever I think of the word VAME, and that's why I go by that right now. Especially when I'm doing the content, I go by that name. But if I'm just out and about, I'll say my name. Yeah, I know who I am still. But
So you're not going to change your name to VAME anytime soon, legally, or will you?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I've gone through moments too where I'm like, I don't really identify with the name Aaron, and maybe that's that could sound weird, or that could be like a normal thing that people are like, well, I mean, your parents gave you your name, so you didn't ask for that name. So it depends on the person, but sometimes I go through that mode.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'm like, well, no, it's
So was there an incident that made you kind of go through this where you were like, hey, I need to? So you were an extrovert. When did you switch over to this introvert?
You know, I'm still on the journey of figuring all of that out.
Yeah.
I will say that because I've even started this journey, that I have just grown so much more, and in the process, a lot of memories come back to your mind. Mm-hmm. So I was a major stuffer.
Right.
And so, you know what that does to your brain chemistry. Whenever something traumatic happens, your brain immediately tries to just push that memory in the back of your mind. You try to forget about that very quickly. And so there was a lot of things that I forgot about, that whenever I went on this kind of journey of self-discovery, getting out of my box, all of a sudden, a memory would just come to my mind. Maybe something triggering, maybe not, maybe something happy that reminded me of why I was this happy kid that was doing this and that or whatever. So in terms of that, I don't think there was just like one big moment. When it comes to that process, that's probably like a more just gradual thing of.
Right.
Yeah. So
when did you, so we were talking beforehand and you can tell me if you don't want to go into this, but you said you used to be a youth minister?
Yeah.
So,
I was a youth pastor. Yeah.
So did you grow up in the church?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you grew up in church in Virginia, then you guys actually going back, why did you move so much?
So my dad is an audio engineer.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Like Cassidy?
Yeah. Yeah. I think they know each other. I don't know. Maybe.
Really?
Maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah. So my dad, I look up to him so much, especially when it comes to what he's taught me in business. He has built his own companies. They've failed, and he's just built them up again and again and again. And now he has a business that's just doing super well, renting audio equipment.
What's the name of his business?
Unique Audiovisual Rentals.
Okay.
I
think I've heard of that.
It's for shows and events all over the country, everywhere. Yeah. And but yeah, he started out as a sound guy. So like when he was like, he has a crazy story. When he was like, it was like 14 or 15 years old, he wanted to learn how to run sound. He was in the sound booth, and he knew that the guy that was running sound, that was teaching him, like it sounded so bad to him, like the mix. And he was like, oh, this sucks. And the guy was like, hey, I need to use the restroom. Like this is while like worship service is going on. He's like, I need to use the restroom. Don't touch anything. He leaves. My dad touches everything and just starts fixing things. The guy comes back and is like, what did you do? My dad's like, oh, I'm done for. Like, this is it. And he's like, this is the best sound I've ever heard, like, in my life. And so, like, from that point on, he was like, yeah, I'm going to do this forever. And so, yeah, so it was always just, the reason we would move, it was always just opportunities from churches or whatever. So the reason we moved to Oklahoma, when Pastor Billy Joe at Victory Church was alive, he called my dad and was like, hey, I need you over here. We're going to move your family over. And
wow. So your dad worked at Victory?
Yes. So literally people thought that I was a military kid because of how much we moved.
I honestly thought you were a military kid. I literally thought.
I remember moving, and this is part of the trauma. We moved so much even within the states that we were in. So I never even got the opportunity to really make deep friendships in school. And whenever I did, it was time to move because of a different church situation out of the city in the same state, or we're moving to another state, whatever the case may be. So yeah, so that was the reason why we ended up moving so much and why we're here.
How old were you when you moved to Tulsa?
I was 12.
Okay, you were 12 when you got established in Tulsa. What high school did you go to?
I went to Victory High School.
Oh, you went to Victory?
Yeah, so immediately to Victory, 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm 27 now. I'll be 28 in August.
So I went to Ponca City, west side of, you know where Ponca City is?
Yeah, I think we used to play against them.
We did. We actually fought Victory Christian in basketball. We got in a straight up fist fight.
That sounds right.
Yeah, we played in like, it was weird because you guys' basketball stadium was like inside. It was like a weird type of, what's it?
It was, yeah.
It's like not really.
It was bad at first. It grew. It became better over time. Like they ended up finally like putting in actual bleachers that like folded like into the wall and then came out. Like
it was really weird how it all was structured. But we got in a fight with Victory, and I remember that. I think you guys beat us too because we weren't very good, but yeah, it was shout out Victory.
Yeah. Shout out Victory.
We won the fight because we were pretty good at fighting, but but they won the basketball game.
I feel like we were in a lot of those situations, so it was probably
so it wasn't us. It was
probably our fault.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I was riding the bench, so I didn't even know what was going on. So you graduated from Victory in 2014, and then did you always want to go into ministry?
I thought I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Did you go to college?
I did not. I went to TCC for about 6 months, and was like one day I went into I think it was like a math class, and I was like, I can't do this. Yeah. I literally cannot. I can't do this anymore.
Like I'm gonna bounce now.
And also coming into myself for the first time as an adult, actually having choices. I was very sheltered growing up as well. So to even just have a realization that I actually could walk out, was like a huge deal for me. And so one day I went to class and I was like, I actually can't do this anymore. I'm depressed. This doesn't feel right for me.
Right.
So I just left. And so no, didn't go to school.
How did that conversation go with your parents? Because were you living with your parents at the time?
At the time, yes. So some immediate
was that scary?
Yeah, some immediate big life change things that I have to like tell my parents were scary at first, and then you could see over time that they got used to it, and they're like, okay, we can't there's nothing we can do. When I got my first tattoo, my mom, man.
Oh, dude, what was your first tattoo?
She yelled at me. I have a right here on my shoulder. It's like a piano keys and then drumsticks across it, and there's like a verse at the top.
Do you like it?
I don't like the font of the verse anymore.
Okay.
I like the piano keys and the drumsticks, so that's what I originally I played drums in church.
Oh, okay.
And
drummer.
Yeah.
What how old were you when you got the tattoo?
I think it was right when I turned 18.
Okay, right.
Right when I was able to get it by myself.
Okay. At least you didn't go get it when you were like 16. How did you go do that? Pissed.
Oh yeah.
Pissed.
Yeah. So and then after the third one, my mom just looked at me and walked away when I showed her, all excited because I'm expecting her to be mad, but
she's like
whatever.
Yeah. How many tattoos do you have now?
Now I have I think 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah. Trying to get some more.
Dude, I thought about getting a tattoo.
It's a commitment.
I'm not against it. It's just there's a couple reasons why. First off, I don't know exactly what I want because I change my mind so often.
I feel that.
And then secondly is I like being different.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone has a tattoo now. And when I tell people I don't have a tattoo, they're kind of like, oh, you don't have a tattoo? So I like being different. But I'm not going to say never. I might get one.
Yeah. Just know that if you get one, there's not any going back. You'll want another one.
Really?
Yeah. It's like an aesthetics thing. If you care about that. So like you'll just see a lot of blank space. You'll see a blank canvas once you add a tattoo, if that makes sense.
See, that's another thing I'm afraid of. Is since I, have these addiction tendencies.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm just going to have a sleeve, which I think sleeves are so freaking cool.
Yeah, they're sick, I think.
I want one so bad, but I'm like, God, I don't know if first of all, I don't know if I can pull it off. Because, if you look at my fit, what would you rate my fit?
I think you just have like your regular dude fit on.
Yeah.
Like you're just like your chill fit.
Yeah, that's my chill.
Yeah. But when you said a sleeve though, I could see you with a half sleeve. Like
Can
right
you?
There. Yes, I could. For real.
Shoot, my wife's gonna kill me.
Oh, okay.
Me and Babe are gonna go out and just.
Hey, look. Listen, I'm against if the wife doesn't want it.
No. I was saying that on a cost on a how much it's going to cost because my wife has tattoos.
Okay, bet.
Yeah,
okay.
so she would be totally down for me getting a
bet.
tattoo, but
yeah.
But she also knows I'm like all in type of guy. So if I get one, so you called it right on the dot, like. You get one, it's going to be off to the races.
Oh
that's exactly me.
Yeah, I feel that. I have addictive tendencies too, so I get that. Yeah, for sure.
So you drop out of school, drop out of college, start getting tats, and at that point you decide you're going to be a children's minister or worship.
Man, so first of all, like if I could quit literally everything right now, I would be a drummer on tour. but that just didn't.
So that's your dream.
Yes, absolutely. Like even right now, if I had an opportunity and I had to tell everyone, hey, I'm not making any more videos, I would do that right now. Love you all that watch the videos, but yeah, that's like my biggest dream. My wife is a singer and songwriter, musician, and she's hoping to come out with some music next year. I'm hoping to at least like do some live shows and see where it goes from there with her too. That would be exciting. But yeah, besides that, what'd you ask at first?
Children.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Youth minister.
Yeah, so at first I that's all I thought about was playing drums. And then yeah, besides that, because I think when you grow up in the church, especially on the pastor's kid side, I felt like a pastor's kid.
It's funny you said that because I was literally about to say that when you were saying that you moved because of churches.
Yeah.
It was like, it's almost like you're a pastor kid, but not really a pastor kid, but you're kind of like a pastor's kid.
The thing people forget about is there are pastor's kids and then there are staff kids, and we're all the same.
Okay.
We're treated the same.
Yeah.
You know, which as a kid is so great. You're treated better, just to be honest. Like, you know, because everyone knows that you're Keith's kid and watch out for him, you know, make sure he's doing okay, whatever. I think because of that, routine, and I thought that was the only like path really in my life, was to either like play drums in church or like be on a staff at a church. That I wanted to start out, you know, the whole like ladder, like start in children's ministry, youth ministry, young adult ministry, and then, you know, try to be start a church. And
you were going to try to move up
I wanted to do all of that at a certain point. And I did. I, you know, took a year certification class. Really during COVID is when everything kind of ended up happening for me. So I worked for my dad in his company for 5 years, and then COVID hit, and my mom was like, hey, your dad doesn't want to tell you because, you know, you're his son and he cares about you a lot, but he's going to have to let everyone go. So no one has a job. I'm like, Mom, I understand. Like COVID's happening. It's fine. Like, love him. So kind of when COVID was settling down, you know, not really, but kind of settling down, my wife was actually the one, which I love her. She's the best. She was like, hey, you've been like preparing all of this time. Like, you love youth. Like, now is the time to just try and just put your name out there. No, you don't have any experience, but you have a lot of passion to do this. So you should just try. And so we were just looking for churches that were needing youth pastors, and the first church we came across was a church called Solace Church in West Tulsa. They're not there anymore.
Okay, Solace Church. No, I never heard of it. What is it? Is it Baptist, Methodist?
They say that they're non-denominational.
Okay.
Yeah. They're right across from right by Berry Hill High School.
I know where Berry Hill's at. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were in Berry Hill.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was actually a beautiful time. The church was like on a decline, had lost a ton of members due to like their main lead pastor. I think he cheated on his wife or something, and everything went downhill from there.
Yep.
But for some reason we still like saw that as like a huge opportunity to bring joy to like an area. And we did that. And it was only 7 months, until we ended up merging with a church.
Okay.
Maybe I won't say the church's name.
Yeah.
Just because that's kind of the place that I left, and it wasn't on the greatest note. I just ended up experiencing.
So when you guys merged, you basically took over the youth for the
whole merge we ended up being a location of a mega church.
Okay, got you.
So that was the whole thing. Sorry, I keep hitting this. My bad.
No, that's all right.
So there was just a lot of, I won't get into that because that's not why I'm here. Obviously, that's not why you're here with me
I'm
either.
just here
You
to
want to
talk
hear about
you,
the content, but
I'm here to talk to you.
yeah.
So we
So
can go whatever direction that it leads us. So.
yeah, there's just a lot of things that I saw in the, I guess you could say, in the background that me and my wife did not agree with at all, and just left a really
The
bad
politics of the church?
just left a really bad like taste in our mouth about especially mega church in general. Just kind of figuring out what it was really about for those organizations. And so we left, and really what was going to kind of keep me there for a little longer, which when I look back is like, well, you should have just tried to leave immediately.
Yeah.
But I did end up, like asking for a raise, because I was like, hey, I'm making as much as I was making at this dying church. Loved that church, but this is a mega church. I know what the other youth pastors are being paid. I just want to be able to like support my wife. My wife is working like 2 other jobs,
Right.
to try. Like my wife is
And
coming to
you're
me like
working probably 60,
Too much.
70.
too much. Yeah, making the same amount, like trying to come from the heart.
Right.
And basically, at the end of that conversation, they said that I had a spirit of discontent, and so that's
Oh gosh,
that's
that makes me so like.
along with a lot of other things that I won't say, because I am proud of myself. I have done the work, because I was very bitter after that. But yeah, so along with a lot of other things that were said.
So are you like?
allowed
Are you still
me to leave.
religious? Do you still like? No, just like. Do you
No,
still
yeah.
believe in God? I mean, do you still
I
go to
don't-
a church? And
I don't mind answering that. Yeah, it's hard for me to answer fully right now. I do believe in God. I don't know if I believe in the institution of modern American church. Those are just conversations that I'm still having a lot
That's
of.
fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's-
doing a lot of deep dives, and while I was a youth pastor, diving even more into the Bible and talking with professors actually made me more confused than give me more clarity about a lot of things. And so it's been really hard for me to believe, to be honest. What I'm focused on right now is being a positive light and influence wherever I am, and being a good person and loving people no matter who they are and what they do. That's what I'm focused on.
I think that's
yeah.
great, especially when you're going through this time of just like discovery
Yeah.
and reinventing yourself. I think that's probably the best way to go through doing that.
Yeah,
because I
for
know
sure.
some people that go kind of the opposite way
Yeah.
of just being very, I don't know, negative.
Yeah, for sure.
Very
And
negative.
I guess since we're on this, like, I want to be clear too. Like, I think a lot of people talk about church hurt, and they think that people leave because of church hurt within the, I guess they would call like the body. So like the people that are attending the church, there's something going on with another person that's attending. And while that could happen, that's usually never the case. It's usually, people usually leave and are hurt by the church because of leadership, misusing or using their power in some way to not benefit the person involved in whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
So,
that brings up a good, I don't know, just a good conversation, because I feel like with the Americanized traditional church, there's so much stuff that's happening in the background of
Yeah.
like children getting abused by leadership and doing some things, and it just gets real I don't know, it's not good.
Yeah. No, it's not.
good. It's not good, and it just like, I don't believe. I think what you're kind of like discovering is kind of interesting, because like when I, as an alcoholic, like I went to a lot of like different recoveries. Like one of the recovery programs I went to was Celebrate Recovery.
Oh,
Love
yeah,
that
I've heard of that, yeah.
love that program. It's basically like a 12-step but different from AA on the aspect of they say, God's their higher power, where AA doesn't say, a doorknob could be your higher power. I mean, seriously.
Right.
Some people don't do that because doorknobs always turn on you. So that's a joke.
Ding.
Ding, ding, ding. But I was out in the parking lot talking to a couple of people. I was like, man, I wish the church was like this. I felt like the church was so, and not all churches, but some of the churches was just so fake. Like people go in with their fake smiles and, everything's great. But
and I was part of it. I
Yeah.
was part of the leadership team that was putting on the fake smile, telling you what to do with your life when I'm not even like doing the same thing with my own.
Yeah.
And saw that from almost all of the leadership that I was around. And so, all of that I'm glad that it all has happened. I'm glad that I grew up the way that I did, because it has just molded me into the person that I am today. And though my, journey I'm in the middle of it right now, I feel seriously the most healthy that I've ever felt in my entire life. Being able to spend time with myself is what I didn't realize that I needed, to work on the things that I needed to work on with myself, past traumas, going to therapy, spending more time with my wife, all of those things. Like I feel clear in my mind, and I feel like a better person, and I'm still working to continue that.
Right.
And that's what's led me to, like I said before, step out of my comfort zone and start to create content about what people are wearing, because I also love fashion. So
that was actually one of my next questions.
Yeah.
So with your content creation, you started the Instagram hardcore in December. Is that when you really like, hey, I'm going to start doing this?
December is when the first video went viral. I had started making a bunch of videos beforehand, but they weren't what are people wearing videos. They were...
You were trying to figure it out, because that's what I did.
Yeah, so it was... I was already on like a part 20 something of like trip to the thrift videos. So I would just go to the thrift store and show people what I bought, basically.
And that didn't go viral? That seems super
No.
interesting. You might want to bring that back. And
I know.
It might...
I've thought about it. I think it's just because there's a ton of people doing that.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, maybe not in Tulsa. I don't
Okay.
know. But I had seen a lot of videos like that out there, and I was just inspired by it and liked that. And I always go thrifting. So I was like, why can't I just do that? And I was doing a lot of outfit of the day videos too, which a ton of people do. But I, at least like you, was staying consistent up until the point where I had been consuming so much what are people wearing content. But all the videos were from people from New York, LA, Japan, big cities. Mm-hmm. And I was watching those videos so much to the point where I was just sick of watching them. And then one day it just hit me too. I typed in on YouTube, what are people wearing Tulsa? And there was nothing. And I was like, okay, why can't I be the guy to start this here and do this here? So that fulfills two things: my love and passion for fashion, and this is going to help me get out of my comfort zone. Absolutely. Like the people that are actually, out there interviewing these people are the people that I look up to, the people behind the camera, because they are approaching strangers. Mm-hmm. And it's been like the most rewarding thing too, being able to do that. So
Yes. And I think that's the cool thing about like content creation is like, for me, it's an outlet, because I always have I'm always very interested in people and kind of hearing their story. And every time I talk to someone, I'm like, dang, I wish I recorded that. So that's the reason why I started the podcast, because
nice.
even though you're talking about yourself, I get joy out of listening to what your history is, what you're going through,
Yeah.
And so it's kind of cool to hear you say the same thing. Like you enjoy recording other people and listening to them. That's kind of the same thing that I like to do.
Yeah, that's where you realize the human part of all of us, we're so connected emotionally that okay, so I did an online course for Parsons School of Streetwear and Design. It's a school in New York that I completed because I love fashion. And a lot of the conversation was about branding. And they were talking about how, a lot of people will buy a story over a product. And so a lot of people will just buy the product because they love the story so much. And I feel like that's how we are as human beings, like connected emotionally. Like whenever we get to hear someone's story, it changes completely our view or perception of them immediately. I also think like maybe it's because like we have a view of someone as soon as we see them. And that's why I feel like clothing is so important, because you're literally telling someone something about you. I think like I heard someone say this, I can't take credit for it. I heard someone say once, they were asked, maybe it was Virgil Abloh. He was asked if you could give fashion a definition in one word, what would it be? And he said language. Like fashion is language. So it's another way to speak to someone about who you are. So I always found that super interesting, and I always saw people differently after I heard that quote. Yeah,
because I started following, because I'm not into fashion. I mean, obviously you can tell. You know, I wear like literally my fashion is I go to the Buckle.
Hey, okay, I remember the Buckle.
Yeah, and I love. So this is kind of funny. This is a funny story. I'm going to talk about this for a second. So I get my blue jeans from the Buckle. Like,
okay,
all my blue jeans come from the Buckle, and I love going to the Buckle for the reason why everyone hates going to the Buckle, because they hate how the people that are like the salespeople will like bring you more clothes to try on.
Yes.
But I love that because I hate going to the store and picking out stuff.
Okay.
So I go in, I say, hey, I'm looking for some blue jeans. And then I go into the stall to do on, and then they start throwing clothes over the thing. So I don't have to go walk around. And so like I go buy jeans once a year. I'll go down to the Woodland Hills Mall, go into the Buckle, grab a pair of jeans, and then they bring me 2 or 3.
You're like their Target customer.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I don't buy any the shirts. I mean, they'll bring me shirts, and I'm like, dude, I'm not going to wear a bedazzled shirt. Like, it's just not me. Like, I'm not going to do that. But I'll get like 2 or 3, and I'm not afraid to tell them no. Like, I'm like, no, I don't want that. I just want these 3 pair of jeans, and I'm good. So
I love that.
I pick one. They bring me like thousands of outfits, so I don't have to walk around the store, and then I bounce.
Dude, no. I mean, hey, I love that.
I love it. And then I just wear T-shirts.
No, perfect.
So, I don't know what T-shirt this is, but maybe Old Navy. But.
You're doing better than a lot of people that are walking around here, man.
Thanks, man.
So, yeah.
Dude, that's coming a lot from
I'm not kidding. It's not a joke.
I'm not kidding.
We're going to get better, though. Tulsa, we're going to get better. We are getting better.
And that's the reason why I started watching your videos, because once again, I'm not in fashion, but I love Tulsa. So I was watching one of your videos, and I'm like, I think that's the Williams Tower in the background. So I started watching, and I'm like, this is interesting. And then I started hearing these people's story of like what their goals, aspirations, why they and I kind of got into fashion. I mean, not so much where I'm like going to go out and buy a bedazzled shirt, from the Buckle.
Yeah.
But it just was interesting. So it's also cool that you said it's a language, because I just started watching the videos and I just thought it was so cool. And that being said, I think a lot of people don't really understand that Tulsa isn't really the same as the rest of Oklahoma. For sure. There's a lot of art, culture, music, and that people don't really realize. And I think it's really cool that you're able to kind of pinpoint that and spotlight that for people to see.
Yeah, it all started. So me and my wife would go to the art crawl. So the first Friday of every month at the Guthrie Green in Tulsa. There's just a bunch of artists, people selling their art. Sometimes they open up a couple of buildings and have showing, kind of like museum style. And there's like musicians that are lined up. And so a couple of years ago, my wife decided to make that one of her gigs to do once a month. So she like sings and plays guitar at a corner with her amp and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like those street performers that you see in like.
Yeah. Oh, she does that. Yeah, you should come. It's first Friday.
This?
First Friday of every month is the art crawl at the Guthrie Green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going? All right, I'm going with you in July.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, let's do it. And literally everyone in Tulsa needs to be there, because that is at least once a month, like on the dot, that is the hub for where like people are just trying to dress like however they want to dress, and then you have, people that are just dressing in their normal stuff, like, but it's like a very like nice cultural mix. And so I was always there with my wife. I have a audio background, so I would just set up her stuff for her, make sure her levels are good. And I would just stand there. And sometimes I would record her, but I would just stand there and like watch people. And so that was actually the place where it hit me, like about the what are people wearing idea, where I typed in, what are people wearing Tulsa? There was nothing. And so I was like, well, if I'm going to be here and standing here for hours, because she performs for a long time, why don't I just like try to do this? It took me 2 months. On month 3, I actually started doing the videos because I was so terrified. I was so scared.
So you were just afraid of like going up to people and saying like, hey, so how does that work? Like, what do you do? Like, give me the first time. Give me the story of the first people that you do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I wish I remember their names. I can try to look it up later. But I was very lucky on the first time. It was a couple, and they were wearing this beautiful handmade, both of them handmade. Even the guy, it was like almost a dress kilt situation. I don't know, but they're husband and wife, and it was. You could tell like the pieces were like handmade and sewn together from a bunch of different materials. It's like this tan white color. And when I went up to them, I was so nervous, and I was like, hey, I make What Are People Wearing videos. And in my mind, I'm like, actually, I don't. You're like the first person. Could I like film your outfit? And they're like, oh my gosh, yes, of course. Like they were so kind.
Oh,
so
perfect
kind.
people.
Yeah, it was
perfect people.
It was the perfect start. Yeah, because now I'll talk about that later. But there are some people. There are some people that just look at me and they're like, no, absolutely not. Yeah. So they were perfect. They were so kind to me, and I actually ended up accidentally recording. Because I still wasn't in my mode yet.
Right,
so,
you didn't know what, you just were like, hey, I got to start. You didn't really know what.
Yeah, so after I finished filming them, I put my phone down and was just talking to them, and it was still recording. I'm so sorry, I keep hitting this.
No, you're good.
I was still recording and I could hear my conversation with them, and I cried after because I needed to hear it because they were just talking to me about how much it meant to them that I would just come up to them like that and have interest in what they were wearing, and then have interest in their life and in their dreams and their goals. And they said they felt incredibly seen. Don't ever stop doing this. Please continue to do this.
I never actually started.
I was like, you're the first.
Did you tell them that they were the first?
No. I was so like, I was still like, growing from that, like, caring about what people thought. So I thought I had to even appear like, I've been doing this.
Yeah,
like,
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I make What Are People Wearing videos, whatever. And so, but yeah, so they were just incredibly kind, and I listened to that audio a lot.
You need to post the audio.
Yeah, I should. Yeah.
All right.
Even though it's kind of like weird, like video, because my phone's just like hanging down. But I'll yeah.
No, I think you should just leave it just how it's just like. I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
So
for
you do that first episode, and when did you start adding in like the goal? Because on the first video you didn't add in the goals. That was by accident, right? The recording. So like the goals, aspirations.
Yeah.
So
I am very inspired by a lot of people. Like I said before, I was watching a ton of What Are People Wearing videos in different countries and cities. There's a guy who I'm actually friends with now, which is amazing because I'm a fan of his.
Yeah.
His name is Dev Moore. He's mostly on YouTube, what he focuses on, doing What Are People Wearing videos in New York. I think he's from Brooklyn, somewhere around there. And he was the only one that I saw that was asking people, what are your dreams? What's your biggest dream, or what's your biggest goal for the year? And I was like, oh, that's huge. And I was, kind of seeing the responses from people. And so I was like, yeah, that's the question. And I tried to like do that question and then like kind of switch it up a little bit and not use that question. And my wife would watch some of the content. She was like, you should like stay on the, like, what are people's biggest dreams and goals, because you see their whole like countenance, face change. And even if they don't know right off the bat, that's like a moment in their life where they start to think about it. It's really cool to like see it happen in real time. And I think it's like encouraging and inspiring for people, like you said, like to hear other people.
And then here's another avenue, and I'm going to be totally truthful and vulnerable here and just tell you what my initial thoughts were, because some people would be like, oh, Steven, that's kind of, why would you say that?
No, yeah,
but,
do it.
So like when I'm watching those videos, like I don't understand fashion. Like I'm not a fashion guy. And I see these people wear these outfits and I'm like, whoa, that's kind of out there. It's like why did you go out in public looking and wearing that?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's really cool to see like their backstory.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, that guy, that's what they want to do? Like I wouldn't have, being, I call it narrow-minded. I was being narrow-minded. I wasn't really I just saw, some guy wearing a kilt and a denim, button up, right? Like that doesn't what? Yeah. But it was cool to kind of hear what they had to say of like, oh wait, these are just people that are just expressing themselves.
Dude, I'm gonna have to do that. Okay, because I think the fact that you even said that, I think that's huge because I can understand. Not everyone comes from a fashion background or ends up loving fashion. That just makes sense. But there are a lot of people out there that say very, very hateful things toward some of the people. And I know why. A lot of people are homophobic or whatever, so they don't even like get to understand a person. They just kind of see what they're wearing and they're like, they say what they say.
Yeah.
But the fact that you just said like what you just said, truthfully and like honestly, I think that's huge because that is exactly what I am trying to do now. That is
you're successful.
Thank you. That's like the passion that has grown in me now that wasn't there before because I didn't think I was going to really change anything in the beginning. I was trying to help myself grow and get out of my comfort zone. Now I'm definitely wanting to, not that I would be the only one to do that. No one person does it, but I want to change culture. I want to change mindset of just how people think about people.
Yeah.
And why, just like the reasons why certain things are important to you, certain things are important to other people too that you might not, maybe you don't agree, maybe you don't like what they like, but there's a reason. There's always like a story behind it. It's all because we're just people. Right. We're all just people with our own story. And so like if everyone could do their best to accept that, I think a lot of different areas, especially in Oklahoma, would be happier places to be. And we wouldn't have to, and don't get me wrong, creating these hubs where people get along are beautiful. I love that. But I feel like maybe wherever a certain person walks, there could be less hate.
Right.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
now.
And that's the thing that I try to do and like continue to do is just listen. Like don't try to judge, people off of what they look like or what they wear or what they sound or who they love. Just try to listen because people. I think we go too quick to point the finger and type something on Instagram in the comment section when you don't even know the backstory or what they went through or how they feel or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but your videos definitely did that for me. Like I just
that means a lot, dude. Thank you.
So, and that's the reason why I wanted to have you on the pod because I was like, this guy is freaking interesting.
Dude,
I want to learn more about this guy. So,
appreciate it.
So you make all these videos, and so you just do the Tulsa art crawl, or do you go different places now? Because
it's pretty crazy now. Well, okay, so first of all, the initial video that went viral was actually at the mall, at the Woodland Hills Mall.
Oh, so that was the first one?
Yeah.
That was with the people wearing the...
Yeah, in the mall, yeah.
That probably has to be a lot more intimidating, because I feel like at the Tulsa art crawl, like people like would be more willing, but just go random people at the mall, like that's...
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Now it's definitely two different... really, it's age range. That's what it is. A lot of the kids, which I still love teenagers, which is awesome. So it's great for me. A lot of the teenagers are the ones that show up to the mall. like ready to like wanting to be in the video. And a lot more like young adults and up, at the art crawl.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that the video at the mall was the original one. What's crazy is, yes, I had been like preparing and making other videos beforehand, but that video that went viral was actually technically the first What Are People Wearing episode I even posted, which was very shocking. It ended up going viral too a week after I posted it, which made 0 sense.
That doesn't happen too often. I mean,
No.
it's happened to me a couple times, but
okay.
I was going to
ask.
Not common. It's not common. Usually you can tell off the first probably 24 to 48 hours.
Okay, see, that's what I always hear. So and like people are always confused when I tell them like, yeah, no.
This happened to me maybe 3 or 4 times.
I had 1,000 followers, just my normal, like 1,000 followers that I had for a long time. And the video in 48 hours probably got like 6,000 views. I was like, that's a lot for me.
Yeah, right.
Like it was a lot. And then from there it was very slow. It wasn't anything crazy. And then literally a week later, boom, 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 blew up. I think that video is at like 300,000 views. The one that's came immediately after that's at like 350,000 views now.
Holy moly.
But so that's where.
And then what did your followers gain from that?
Yeah, so that's where I got the initial, I would say from, the 1,000 to, it got to 7,500 very, very quickly. Very quick.
Like, oh, wow.
Oh yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. In a good way. Like it was very exciting.
Right.
I just realized, like little things, like I had to do certain things different when I was filming people now, because I was subtle flex. I was gaining so many followers a day that if I was filming someone and wanted to like tag them in the video, I couldn't just have them follow me because I wouldn't be able to find them.
Right.
So I'd have to have them like put in my notes their, Instagram handle or TikTok handle, whatever.
Right.
To be able to like contact them, like let them know when the video comes out. Cause I do all that and I follow everyone that I interview. That's just like something I do. So yeah, it was crazy. Like there was recently a couple of times ago in the mall, I usually go by myself.
Right.
And, the mall for some reason is the place, maybe because of the viral videos, that's the place where I can't really walk around anymore, which is actually crazy.
So that was actually a question I was going to ask you. So does people recognize you now when you go out in public?
So yes. So after this time, I couldn't get much filming done. So I told my wife, I was like, hey, I think you're actually going to have to start coming with me to just help out, like facilitate. She's like, stop. Like you think you're so,
you're not that big.
Yeah, you're not the big,
you're
like
not,
relaxed dude. And I was like, no, babe, I wish I was joking, but like seriously, this is like becoming a thing. She's like, I'll come with you next time. No joke. We pulled up to the parking lot. We're not even inside of the food court entrance yet. An entire car full of teenagers is like, it's VAME, he's here, oh my God. Are you about to go film? I was like, yeah, come on in. They're like, oh, we can't right now, but we got to go home, blah, blah, but love you, have a nice day, whatever.
Oh, so they saw you, so they pulled up.
Yes, they just pulled up. They had to leave. Yeah. And my wife was like, oh, okay. And once I got in, there were moms with their kids. They brought them over just to come and take a picture with me. Like, that's literally what it has become at the mall. I'm only at 12,000 followers right now. So I'm so confused.
It's because you got a local, which I think is so cool, is you got a local audience.
Yeah.
Which I'll be interested to see on your analytics of like what percentages are from Tulsa, Oklahoma City versus other places in the United States.
Yeah.
Because when you have that local audience, become a local celebrity. So I remember the first person that noticed me, I was showing a house out in a subdivision out in Owasso, and I was walking outside, and these guys in work trucks drove up, and they rolled down the window, and they're like, hey, are you the burger guy? And I was like, this is the first person that noticed me, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I am. So I like walk up to them and start talking to them. I'm like, do you guys like want to take a picture? And they're like, no, we just wanted to say hi. And I'm like, okay, is it okay if I take a picture with you?
Yeah, please. Like, I want to remember this moment. Yeah.
So I'll try to put the picture in this video.
That's awesome.
But there's a picture of me like doing a selfie with 2 random guys in the truck.
Dude, I love that. That's cool.
And so I have never asked anybody, but there's been a couple, like a month ago, someone said, hey, can I take a picture with you? And I'm like, oh, yes.
It's such a fun feeling.
I'm redeemed. Like, I just, I was so awkward when people came up to me after that incident that I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But now I've gotten better.
No, that's hilarious. I love that, dude.
And I love it when people come up and talk. And I'm like, dude, like, what restaurants do you recommend? And they're like, oh, I don't know. Like,
yeah, that's so fun.
It's fun.
But to answer your question too, I don't think I fully answered your question.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So like so 7,500 followers is where it got to very quickly. So from 7,500 followers to where I am now, I think is like 12.6. That has been me just making the choice going, okay, this is happening. I'm going to be as consistent as possible and just see what happens from there. So since March, the beginning of March, I have not gone a day without posting. I know that's not everyone has to do that, but I have literally posted every single day. I even posted before I got here today.
Wow.
And that is what has like slowly, just little by little, just grown.
Consistency. I mean, eventually you'll hit another, banger of a video, and it'll pop up again. Yeah, I was very consistent when I was on my big growth, and then I kind of went through a burnout stage. I feel that. Just like, I got real burnt out a couple weeks ago, and also I was trying to start this podcast and start recording, and I'm one of those people that like to really try different things.
For sure.
Which doesn't really help sometimes because you need to be consistent in something.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even see myself posting every day. In the future.
Just right now, you're.
Yeah. I think I will say it is hard to do at first. Now it feels like just a part of my routine. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot easier to do. So maybe I will post every day for as long as I can. I don't know. But literally all I'll do is take the interviews that I use for YouTube and I'll just post them on Instagram and TikTok. So I'll do like the actual episodes where it's just music in the background and it's a vertical video for Instagram and TikTok showcasing, people. Those are on Fridays and Sundays. I post those on Fridays and Sundays, just those episodes. So all the other days in between are literally just clips of the interviews from the YouTube channel. And then like Saturdays, I'll like let people know. I'll show the intro of the YouTube video.
Dude, I want to come with you and just flip like behind the scenes of it.
Please. No, it's so fun.
All right, I'm going to do it. And we're going to go to the art crawl too. Dude, I'm going to have you back on, definitely. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we're over an hour, aren't we? I forgot to start the timer.
No, you're good.
But no, before we end, I want to do like a quick rapid questions. Just random things. So, all right. So random questions with VAME right now. Favorite coffee shop? Go.
Oh, Cirque.
Cirque?
100%.
Favorite restaurant?
Ooh.
In Tulsa. This is all Tulsa stuff.
Favorite restaurant in Tulsa? Oh, you know what? Shout out to Queenie's. Best
Queenie's
brunch. Best
Queenie's
brunch.
Is super solid.
I love Queenie's.
Favorite venue for music?
Ooh. I'm going to stick with the Vanguard because I've had a lot of great just memories at the Vanguard. Even though, of course, the BOK is great.
Yeah.
Tulsa Theater. But yeah.
Vanguard. Your favorite event in Tulsa?
Favorite event in Tulsa? I would say now, shout out to the OFA, the Oklahoma Fashion Alliance. Did not know they were even a thing until all of this started with me.
Okay.
Yeah. They put on fashion shows every year.
Oh, I want to go to that too.
Yeah, well, I'll send you everything.
Okay.
Yeah. It's so much fun, and it actually benefits all of the people that are involved. They're all local artists, so makeup artists, models, the creative directors behind the show. Like all of those people are just local artists coming together. So all the ticket sales, everything goes toward like funding them as artists. So it's really cool.
Favorite place to shop?
Favorite place to shop? Ooh, I love thrifting. So like anytime, I know this isn't in Tulsa, but anytime I get to go to the Goodwill bins in Oklahoma City, I love that. It's a lot.
That's Oklahoma, yeah.
It's a lot. Like you got to like really be in the mood to like dig through some things. But yeah, I love.
Where'd you get that shirt at? Is that Goodwill?
No, this is a Raf Simons sweater. I don't remember. I got it online.
Okay.
I don't remember where. Maybe like Grailed or something.
All right, and then last one. Who was your favorite interview so far that you've had?
You.
Oh, no, not me. I'm
I was like, this is the only one? So you.
Well, good, yes.
Not interviewing me. Okay,
Yeah.
me interviewing someone? Oh, wow. That's so hard. Maybe I'll say this because I've loved interviewing everyone. I'll give you a moment.
Okay,
so
give me a moment.
It was while I was actually filming and interviewing a couple, there was an old man that was standing off to the side, and I knew he was just like looking at me the whole time, so he was wanting to talk after. You never know what an older person in their 60s, 70s is going to say, like, hey, kid, what are you doing, or whatever. I just didn't know what to expect. And was done, filming that couple, got their information, was like, hey, nice to meet you, have a great day, whatever. Turned around like really slow.
You're like, oh,
it's like, hey, nice to meet you. He was like, you're the guy, aren't you? I was like, what? He's like, you're the guy that makes What Are People Wearing videos. I was like, yes, sir. And he was like, thank you for helping. Again, thank you for helping all of us to feel seen. I watch all of your videos. Keep doing what you're doing. It's like, those are always like the greatest moments of my life. So sometimes I see like some of y'all on Instagram and everything say that you saw me or whatever. Please come up to me and say hi, because I love that stuff.
Ditto.
And yeah, that's like the best.
Yeah.
So.
Well, cool, man. Hey, tell them where they can find you at. I honestly didn't know you had a YouTube channel until after I watched all your Instagram. So tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, if you want to see like long form content, vlog style, behind the scenes of what I'm doing as I'm filming What Are People Wearing videos, everything is Hey VAME. So HEYVAME on YouTube for the vlogs. Those are like longer. And then TikTok and Instagram is like, of course, like that short form content that everyone has seen so far. That's also Hey VAME. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, VAME, thank you so much for coming on, brother.
Dude,
it was
thank you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah,
And,
pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you on again.
Yeah, we'll hang. Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
Perfect. We'll do our 2 exits real quick. So we're zoom in on me. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. What was it? Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you liked that episode with Hey VAME and you want to watch another episode from the People of Oklahoma podcast, you can click this link right here and watch another episode. And then one more. Hey, if you like that clip from the Hey VAME episode and you want to watch another clip from that episode, you can click this link right here to watch another one. Thanks for watching. Cool.
Dude, killed it.
Dude, let me get a video real quick.
Oh, wait, yes. I need to get one too.
All right. We're in the house.
Yo.
Baby.
Yo, you're awesome, bro.
Oh, thanks,
I love
man.
this. Seriously,
Dude.
it was so fun. So fun.
And then let me get a picture of you.
Yes.
Cool.
Dude, this is so cool.
And then get one more here.